February 2023 is upon us, and that means it's time for more activities to enjoy around your island as the month changes. From major holidays to experience, new items to collect, and even seasonal materials to gather, there's a lot going on in this month. So I'm going to give you the rundown of everything you need to know about what will be happening throughout the month. Starting us off, on February the 14th, the Valentine's Day event will occur. Now, this isn't one of the major events that happens in the game. When you log on, you won't see a huge fanfare or anything like that, but when you head to your letterbox, you will see that you've received some nice letters from the villagers that you are friendliest with in the game. You may also get a letter from Isabel as well, which is a pretty rare occurrence. These letters can contain nice little items, including special Valentine's Day chocolate, which is very thoughtful of your villagers. One of the absolute best parts of this event though is when you head into the Roost and you can get a special interaction with Brewster that you won't really see on any other day. Instead of getting your usual coffee from him, this time around you will actually get a hot chocolate, which is really nice. It's worth noting that the hot chocolate doesn't actually do anything different, but still it's a nice little interaction that usually you wouldn't experience. Brewster will even wish you a happy Valentine's Day as well, which again is a rare piece of dialogue from him. This part of the event actually is returning from Animal Crossing New Leaf, so it might be nostalgic for a lot of players who played that game on Valentine's Day. So yeah, not one of the most exciting events in the game, but still it's something nice to enjoy on the day. Now, the most major event of the month will actually happen on the 20th, and this of course is Festivale. It's an event that I'm sure a lot of you are very familiar with, as it's one of the most major holidays in the game. You can see your villagers dancing around the island, confetti will be raining from the sky, and everyone is dressed up in very colourful outfits. The main objective of Festivale will be to craft feathers for Pave, which is something you can do throughout the day. Pave will give you some cool items for your help, which is really nice. And generally, it's just a really fun and colourful celebration around the island. There won't really be any other major events in the game for a while after Festivale happens, so it's definitely worth enjoying this event and seeing all that it has to offer. I personally think some of the items you can get from this event are really cool, and they can work on a variety of different islands, so I'm going to be making sure I head in to get extras of the ones that I need. And just generally celebrating and dancing around with your villagers is incredibly fun, and no other day of the year can you see confetti coming from the sky, so that is another big bonus. It's worth noting that throughout the month, Nooks Cranny will actually sell a lot of the Festivale items that you can collect. So that technically means there aren't that many exclusives throughout the actual event itself, but one particular item that you definitely cannot get is the Festivale float, which happens to be the ultimate reward from Pave during this particular event. Nooks Cranny will also sell for a limited time the Viva Festivale reaction set, which allows you to get access to a bunch of really cool exclusive reactions for Festivale. These will allow you to dance more with your villagers, and honestly they're all incredibly cute. So definitely take a trip to Nooks Cranny so that you can get some of these goodies. You absolutely won't regret it. Now let's move on to limited time seasonal items. Like usual, Nook Shopping will update and there'll be a whole bunch of seasonal items that you can collect throughout the month. On screen, I'm going to be showing you a list from Game8.co that shows you all of the seasonal items you'll be able to get in the month of February, some continuing on from January. As you can see, there is a large variety and they're all really cool. In fact, the Carnival of Venice item was only added to the game for the first time last year, so you might not even have that one yet if you played previously. Overall, February is definitely one of the best months to get seasonal items, even though a lot of them do continue on from January, so make sure you check in throughout the month to see what is available, and you can see all the dates here on screen so you know when you need to. Continuing onwards, on February the 25th, the snow will finally melt around your island, if you're in the Northern Hemisphere that is. I know a lot of people have started to get pretty bored with the snow already, which is something that happens every single time in Animal Crossing New Horizons. When it first arrives, we're all so excited about it, but by the end we're kind of wishing things were green again, and although you won't really get that at the end of February, you will get something that isn't snow, which is nice. The grass will look very faded throughout this time, which might not be the ideal look for some people, but personally I much prefer it to snow, and it is a really interesting look that honestly you don't get to see most of the year, so I'm really looking forward to the snow melting in the Northern Hemisphere. I'm definitely done with it at this point, and I cannot wait for spring to come around once more because it looks absolutely amazing in New Horizons. For number 5, for those in the Northern Hemisphere, once the snow melts on the 25th, You'll once again be able to start collecting young spring bamboo as your seasonal material, as well as DIY recipes that involve this. There's definitely a lot of really cool items that require young spring bamboo to craft, and you can get your recipes from balloons or from crafting villages throughout this time. On screen I'm showing off some of the recipes that I've managed to collect for young spring bamboo, and I definitely think you should try to as well, as these can really give a nice unique look to your island. This time of the year doesn't really have much in the way of seasonal materials, unlike autumn and such, but still, this is a pretty fun one in my opinion. For number 6, the Nintendo Switch Online feature, which allows you to get villager profile pictures, will update for the final time in February 2023. That's right, in March 2022 this feature was first introduced, which means it has nearly been here for a whole year. If you didn't know, every single month this feature updates to add in new villagers who are currently celebrating their birthday in New Horizons. So if a villager has their birthday going on currently, you should be able to collect them as a profile picture. This is a really cool feature, honestly. I've really enjoyed getting the profile pictures every single month of the different villagers. But yes, it seems like it will update for the final time in February, as that will make a whole year worth of villager birthdays. It's unknown whether they could actually decide to maybe, add in special characters or something. That's something we don't really have in this feature yet. They have birthdays too after all, so that would make a lot of sense and would be a good update. But for now, it does seem like February will be the last time that we get new villagers, so I probably won't be including this feature in these updates and changes videos any longer. Still, it has been cool to check all of the different ones out, and I was so glad we could finally get Bob in January, even though we had to wait basically a year to get him. Let me know in the comment section down below which villagers you've been most excited to collect throughout this feature. For those of you in the Southern Hemisphere, on the 18th of February, the Bug-Off will happen. Now, surprisingly, there is no fishing tourney going on for those in the Northern Hemisphere, but if you are in the Southern Hemisphere, you can enjoy this extra event in the month of February, which means you end up getting free events throughout this time, which is honestly pretty cool. Of course, it is just the standard Bug-Off that we all know and have experienced probably a lot of times in the game. But if you haven't tried it out before, or maybe it's been a while since you played last, I definitely recommend it. This can be a great event to earn a lot of bells from bugs, and you can also get some pretty cool exclusive rewards as well from Flick. So yes, definitely worth enjoying this Bug-Off in my opinion. Finally, new bugs, fish, and sea creatures will start to arrive in your island throughout the month of February, especially as the snow is starting to go away, and in the Southern Hemisphere it's starting to become autumn. In the description down below, I'm going to link to Game8.co's guides on all of the bugs, fish, and sea creatures which will be coming and going throughout the month, as I think this is the most helpful way of doing it. And I wish everyone luck who's still trying to catch those certain critters. Maybe the Bug-Off that's going on in the Southern Hemisphere could help you with this. So that marks all of the major things happening throughout February 2023 in Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'd love to let me know what you plan to do this month in the game, whether you've got some sort of challenge for yourself, some sort of goal to complete, or just some of the activities that you're most excited about. If you made it to the end of the video, be sure to comment Bob's Gang down below so I know you did. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, and if you haven't already, consider subscribing and turning on notifications for more.